Welcome back to day 11 of Trident Mindset. Thank you for joining us again. Today we're going to be talking about and teaching you visualization, which is the penultimate tactic you'll be learning here at Trident Mindset. Each of you already use visualization every single day. Your brain visualizes things every time it recalls a memory, imagines something, or daydreams. To make you mentally tougher, we're just going to be using visualization in a different way. You'll be visualizing achieving your future goals. Now, the fundamental concept behind visualization is that when you put a thought into the universe, when you visualize something happening, it will then magically happen later on in real life. No, wake up. That is, of course, not how it works. The real reason we're teaching you visualization is twofold. First, there is an abundance of scientific and academic literature demonstrating that visualization significantly improves your mental toughness, meaning it significantly improves your ability to be happy and to be effective amidst adversity. And second, we at Trident Mindset have found it to be one of the most useful tactics in moments of extreme adversity. When things get really dark and really hard, visualization is, as much as any other tactic, one that we turn to and have come to rely on. So that's why we're teaching it to you now. And we joke because we know that, like meditation, some people can think visualization is a bit odd. But just like with meditation, we ask you to stick with us, keep an open mind, and to examine things for yourself. Visualizing your future, the way we're going to teach you, serves two purposes that improve your mental toughness. First, it helps you to activate a state of peak performance. And second, it helps you to do what we call staving off the demons. First, we'll talk about activating a peak performance state. Anyone who's run a race knows the feeling of somehow being able to run faster on the final stretch than you could in the middle of the race. This phenomenon is possible because mental factors, not just physical factors, impact our performance. In that final stretch of the marathon, you didn't magically increase your fitness. You were just able to perform better because a cocktail of neurotransmitters, mainly dopamine and epinephrine, which is also known as adrenaline, surged, and that allowed your body to supercharge its performance. Neurotransmitters like dopamine and epinephrine and serotonin dull your body's perception of pain, fatigue, and adversity, and therefore increase your ability to perform at peak levels even amidst adversity. Well, this neurotransmitter release that occurs at the end of a running race and in some other moments naturally in life can also be manually activated just by using visualization. Now, the reason for this, and one of the concepts that underpins visualization, is that the brain can hardly tell the difference between perceiving a real image and an imagined image. This means if you imagined a donut, you will get very similar pangs of hunger and desire as you would if actually looking at a real donut, because again, the neural pathways the brain uses when actually looking at a real image versus imagining something have a lot of overlap. Just the same, if you imagine having achieved a key goal of yours, you can get the same neurotransmitter surges you would get if you had actually achieved that goal. Here's an example. Let's say you're working on a final paper of grad school, and it's a huge goal, perhaps the top goal so far in your life, to graduate grad school and to do a good job on this paper. However, you're stuck in a rut. You're struggling with the assignment, and midway through, you just want to quit and watch Netflix and take a nap. But if you, instead of doing those things, take a second to vividly imagine achieving your goal, to imagine yourself on the stage accepting your diploma in front of your proud friends and family, your brain can be partially tricked into thinking you are actually on that graduation stage. And as a result, you will experience some of the hormone releases you would get when actually graduating, namely dopamine, adrenaline, and serotonin. Now, these hormones will improve your mood, focus, determination, and your resilience. And this means you'll be better able to carry on and crush the final paper, even though, of course, you haven't actually graduated yet. But just by visualizing achieving that goal, you're able to get those neurotransmitters to be released in higher concentrations and activate a state of peak performance that can help you succeed amidst adversity. It's pretty cool. Now, the second way that visualization aids mental toughness is once again by helping you stave off the demons. Whatever your goal may be, whether it's losing 20 pounds, getting a promotion, or graduating SEAL training, you will face tough times and temptations. When you're on hour 16 of intermittent fasting, that chocolate chip cookie can seem quite appealing. And when you're on day 3 of Hell Week, the warm shower that you get if you quit can seem downright irresistible. When adversity strikes, our untrained minds naturally focus on the adversity, what we call the demons. When you're gassed during a run, all you can think about is how tired you are. When you're hungry, all you can think about is getting food. And when you're stressed, all you can think about is the cause of your stress and how awful you feel. But focusing on these negative feelings, what we call giving into the demons, is a terrible idea. It forces your brain and body into a negative feedback loop that just makes the problem feel worse. But in order to not think about the temptation and the adversity and the struggle you're experiencing, you have to get your mind to think about and focus on something else. This is where visualization comes in. Your brain has a very minimal ability, as we've mentioned earlier in this course, to consciously focus on 2 things at once. So when you focus on your visualization of achieving your goal, your brain literally loses its ability to think about and therefore perceive the temptation, pain, fatigue, or misery that you were consumed by just a moment ago. Now, there's some awesome science that explains precisely how these mechanisms work, and we'll get into that all in the Mindset Mastery course. But for now, it's enough to understand that by visualizing achieving your goal, your brain will snap out of the temporary moment of weakness it's having, and you can continue on your path to success. So those are the 2 ways visualization can help you be more successful amidst adversity. First, it'll help your brain activate a state of peak performance. And second, it'll help get your focus off of your adversity, off of the demons, and back onto something more powerful and inspiring. So now that we've covered the 2 ways visualization helps you achieve increased mental toughness, we now need to explain how you do it. In the Mindset Mastery course, we will have a lesson that walks you through a detailed guided visualization, but the below description should be enough to get you started so you can start experiencing these benefits for yourself. There are only 2 steps to successfully visualizing. First, think of the goal you want to accomplish. Second, fill in the details. This is what it's all about. To be optimally effective, a visualization needs to be really, really vivid. This means the image in your mind of you accomplishing that goal should include sights, colors, sounds, smells, touch, and most importantly, feelings and emotion. So if your goal is, like we talked about before, to graduate from college, then when you visualize that goal, fill in all the details of that experience. When you visualize it, see your parents and your friends in the crowd. See the rows of white chairs neatly stacked in the quad. See the green grass and the sun. Feel your gown on you. Hear the speaker call your name up to the stage. And most importantly, feel the pride and the happiness and the satisfaction you have because you accomplished your goal. If your visualization is lacking these details, if it's too vague, it won't trigger as strong a neurological response and you won't get as strong of a state of peak performance when you conjure it. And if your visualization is lacking these details and is too vague, you won't be able to recall it during really brutal moments of adversity, which is when you most will need it. You need a clear, vivid image that you can call into your mind at any time so it's always there when you need it. Finally, it's important to not only do these 2 steps, but to also practice consistently. At Trident Mindset, most of us spend a few minutes visualizing our goals first thing in the morning when we wake up. And not only is this a good way to get fired up for the day and be clear about why you're getting out of bed in the first place, but practice is an imperative component of utilizing visualizations. Think if someone asked you to complete a series of multiplication problems. That would be no big deal. Now think if they asked you to do that while they sprayed you in the face with a hose, punched you in the gut, and screamed in your ear. That would obviously be quite a bit tougher. When your body is put under adversity, your brain has trouble processing things because it's so overwhelmed by all the inputs and by what's going on. Given this, if you've only visualized achieving your goal once or twice, you won't be able to call forth the image in your mind. You literally will not be able to see that image when you're deep in a moment of challenge or darkness. And if you can't clearly see that visualization, you won't get any of the benefits we talked about earlier. But if you instead regularly practice visualizing yourself accomplishing your goals, that meaningful image will be indelibly etched in your mind, and you will be able to call it forth anytime, anywhere. This will ensure you get all those benefits no matter how tough the situation you're in. So create a clear, vivid, meaningful picture of the person you want to become or the goal you want to accomplish. Practice seeing that image daily and call forth that image to your mind whenever you're in the midst of adversity and you need a reminder that what you're striving towards is worth the price you're paying. We know it sounds a little weird, but trust us on this. This works. Visualizing making that triumphant call home to your wife or your brother or your family has gotten many a SEAL trainee through Hell Week, and it can work for you too. So visualize your future, walk the walk, pay the man, and make your dreams a reality. So one day you can look up and realize you are standing right where you pictured you would be, and it feels even better than you imagined. Onward.